really want to welcome everyone to today's webinar on how to run a zero budget campaign on social media. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Kapil Nakra and I'm one of the co-founders of Digital Vidya. Today we have with us Prateek Shah. Prateek he runs in social media consulting, a consulting agency by the name Green Smileys, and he's also a lead trainer with Digital Vidya. Just a word of cautions for everyone who haven't heard Prateek before. His sessions are usually filled with fun and learning. So in case you want to do something in parallel, you'll not be able to manage it. And so make sure that you're making yourself fully available for the next 1 hour. So the topic of today's session is, it's very interesting, how to really run a zero budget campaign on social media. Before I hand it over to Prateek, let me share my views about it. You know, on social media, there is no relationship between what you are investing in it and the returns that you get out of it. It all depends on how creative your campaign is. And there have been a lot of tweets throughout the week on this topic. A lot of you are asking this question: is it really zero budget, or is it zero media budget? What does this really mean? So I'll leave it to Prateek to answer all those questions. So logistically, how we have set these sessions is we'll have half an hour of presentation. And during the session, if you have any question, just type it down in the question panel. And we'll take up the questions once the presentation is over. And you can also tweet your question with the hashtag #ask_TV. And and we'll try to ensure that all the questions we are covering up in this 1 hour of session. Okay. So that's it from my side. Prateek, over to you. You can start the session now.
Sure. Thanks so much, Kapil. Hi, everybody. Can see a lot of you already here. So I think we'll just begin right away. So, you know, zero budget campaign on social media. Pretty interesting concept. Lots of questions. I also saw them on Twitter. Some people were, how can a zero budget campaign actually run on social media? So let's find out and let's see ways in which other people have been managing to do that. And let's see how they've used some basic ways and some innovative ways to go about it. So, you know, this is how the social media space looks to me. It's like a jungle. The big buck campaigns are like the big trees. Everybody sees them. And then you have the low budget campaigns. The campaigns with 100 likes here and 200 friends there, and I'm just wondering how to become more visible and really be seen by more and more people. So, you know, before we carry on, I think it's quite fair for me to understand what kind of problems are you facing for your low budget campaigns or for your campaigns in general. And let's try to keep the questions related to budgets for now. So if you can just type in some of the problems you've been facing, it will be easier for me also to relate those problems with what I have to present.
Yeah, so the problems are can't get likes, hence no engagement.
Right. So as Kapil is rightly pointing out, can't get likes and there's no engagement. So let's look at what kind of problems people usually face when running these low budget campaigns. What is the kind of thing that people say? Likes are not increasing. That's the biggest problem, I think. You know, I have 100 likes. I asked all my friends and relatives and neighbors to like my page, but it's just not going up. There's no branding. We don't know how to make my brand become more visible. Sales are not happening. I think this is the most important function for most organizations. Eventually, they want their social media marketing efforts to result in sales. Visibility not growing. You're not being able to reach out to too many people. And then hiring, as we all understand by now, hiring is a very important function of social media. Not just in terms of what one does on LinkedIn, in other ways as well. So these are some of the problems that people usually face. Let's look at how some companies and individuals have been able to address them. So before we move on, you know, there are 3 important C's of social media. The 4th very important one is cash. But since we're talking about low budget or zero budget campaigns, so let's take the cash out and let's look at the other 3 C's which we really need to make use of for running our campaigns. Most importantly, I think creativity. and not creativity in terms of fancy pictures or fancy content and stuff like that. Generally, you just need to be very creative with whatever you're doing on social media. Content naturally, and again, content not just in terms of what you write or the way you write or how good your copywriting is, but content in terms of what kind of pictures you share or videos you post or other PPTs you make. And then the third most important C, which I think we most often forget for all our campaigns, social media and otherwise, is common sense. Well, yeah, sounds pretty common, but I think in most campaigns we see that part of common sense seems to be lacking a little bit. So then moving on, how have other companies used these three areas and been running their campaigns? Let's have a look. Social media. Usually we keep talking about Facebook. I think most people, when they talk about campaigns, they probably mentally also think Facebook campaigns with a bit of Twitter and LinkedIn thrown in there. But ideally, if you ask me, I think Facebook is one part of what one does on social media. But more importantly, there are these so many other portals and so many other places where we can present ourselves and where we can showcase what we do. So we'll also be focusing on these portals and how companies are using them. So first of all, most importantly, for a zero-budget campaign, ensure that you're present everywhere, regardless of whether you're going to be talking too many things there or whether you're going to be asking people stuff there or whatever. Just be everywhere. This is an example of a healthcare consultancy called Just for Hearts, a Pune-based organization which started its social media efforts close to 3 to 4 years ago. And what it has done over the years is that there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's LinkedIn, there's YouTube, there's SlideShare, there's everything else. More importantly, they've managed to block the keyword everywhere, Just for Hearts. So on your blog, you have justforhearts.wordpress.com, Facebook, you have facebook.com/justforhearts, and so on and so forth. What it enables them to do is, when you do a quick search for Just for Hearts online, and you can try it parallelly if you want to, more or less, all the results on the first page belong to them. By doing which, not just are they managing to do better SEO for their brand, but also they are managing to ensure that whenever somebody searches for Just for Hearts, they control all the conversation on the first page, which is quite important. Now, we're talking about zero-budget campaigns and campaigns with no money. So how does one go about it? Now, when you don't have enough money, you've got to use the other resources that you have. Let's have a look at one such company, an event management company called UrSqFt. What they did is, over the years, they had accumulated a lot of email database and collected email IDs from different places. And eventually, when they started off their social media campaign, they simply asked everybody on their email database to join them on various social networks, be it LinkedIn, be it Facebook, be it other places. And as a result, what happened is that the people who they had been in touch with once upon a time happened to get in touch again. And eventually, as what you can see on the screen, queries started coming in for work, for projects, and then also other conversations started happening over the phone. That's how it helped them helping the business grow. Now LinkedIn is usually, we're all there on LinkedIn. Everybody has a lot of contacts. Some of us even have more than, I don't know, potentially 1,000. Some people I know have close to 5,000 contacts also. But I think we don't really use LinkedIn as much as we are supposed to. We at best use it just to showcase our achievements or probably talk about changing job or changing career path or some other related things. But all these people that you have on your LinkedIn profile now, can you use it in some other way? Or all these groups that you've joined, can you use it in some other way? So groups, and let's talk about how real estate companies are using groups. Now you all usually are told that, go ahead, make a group for yourself, invite everybody to join in, and then conversations will happen, engagement will happen, everything else will happen. But let's say you don't have too strong a network. Let's say you don't really know too many people. Okay, so yeah. So what I was saying is that why just make our own groups? Why not use the groups that already exist? So for example, this is a real estate company which is talking about one of their recent properties that are available for sale on LinkedIn, on a random real estate group. Now, a simple message like this has got them 5 to 6 replies on one page itself, on one group itself, and there are multiple other replies that they've got on different groups. So what happens as a process is that it's not necessary that I have to first attract everybody to join my group. I can simply become part of other groups and then post my queries and requirements there, and it will result in people reaching out to me. Similarly, when we talk about hiring, quite importantly, let's say you can't afford a recruitment consultant. So what do? Just there are ample number of career and job related groups there in LinkedIn. You just need to join them, post your queries, and for example, we can have a look at this one which UrSqFt got as a result of what they posted. Through LinkedIn, people then reach out to you and want to apply for a job. That way, you can also better know what kind of a background do they have and kind of do a better ref check overall. Now, Twitter. Twitter again, I think people just ignore it. People just don't use it. People are there on Facebook but don't know what to do on Twitter. And even if they are there, even if they tweet, they don't really know how much to tweet and actually what to tweet about. So e-commerce, as we all know, e-commerce has had its bit of troubles in general. Anybody who knows the e-commerce industry well. So let's look at some companies which are doing rather well in the online space on Twitter in using e-commerce without again much of a budget. One company called SheepStop. If you've heard of Threadless, which crowdsources designs and sells them online on its portal, SheepStop is again a Pune-based company which crowdsources designs from all over India and it produces some good organic t-shirts. So just look at this tweet, and you can just begin from the from Anish Unikrishnan's tweet right at the bottom. So he says we can call India superpower only when I can order threadless tees online and be sure they will be delivered. So now what SheepStop interestingly does is it probably has one of the platforms like TweetDeck or something else installed. They keep searching for when people in India are looking for something from threadless or when people are looking for good teas online. Now when that happens, they end up replying to Anish Unni, telling him that why don't you give us a shot? Why don't you order teas from our side? And we also deliver them and we have outsourced designs. So then he in fact goes on to tweet it to all his followers that this is the only smart way of marketing in Twitter, SheepStop. He compliments them. And that naturally one results in one customer acquired. Second, a lot of good word spreading out there. And thirdly, one endorser that they can probably count for life. Again, SheepStop, they've been doing interesting engagement and conversations online on Twitter. So these are some of the tweets which are about SheepStop or they are replies to SheepStop, and they are then favoriting them. Favoriting is you can bookmark tweets so that if others want to see what others are saying about you, you can just give them a simple link and you will get to know what people are saying. And you can just quickly have a look at the kind of tweets that are there. This SheepStop does some awesome social media interest. Hey SheepStop, received my courier today with this cute message. And so on and so forth. Just look at the kind of good word they are spreading despite being a non-brand or despite being a big brand. Another interesting thing that they're actually doing, something called TweetBid. So what they do is that they ask people to come together for a contest where they allow them to bid for a t-shirt starting at rupee 1 or rupee whatever, yeah, rupee 1 as it says. So then if this process goes on for a day and eventually let's say the t-shirt will be sold for 200 to 50 bucks, which originally would be priced at 500 plus rupees. Now, what happens is that as a result of this, they've ensured a bit of virality because if I tweet, my friends will get to know, and if they tweet, their friends will get to know. So you just need to make people have some fun and let them get kind of become part of the process and let things flow from there. So again, as I was saying, SheepStop is actually doing pretty well. Just just an example to show the same. One of the coverages of the founder in a TOY publication. 24 hours loop. This is another t-shirt company, surprisingly again based out of Pune. Now what they do is, while they have regular stuff that they sell on the website, every day they offer one new t-shirt at a loop price. And what they say is that just come, follow us and retweet this tweet, and one of you will end up getting this t-shirt as a prize. So if you can see some of the tweets, last 2 hours to get graphics t-shirts at loop price, RT and Unity. So RT is retweet, as all of you would know. It's just a very simple way to get more people to know about your brand. Now what are they doing in the process? Probably gifting one t-shirt away every day, which is nothing you should talk about marketing budgets. And if you are running a campaign for your e-commerce store or your products, why not start gifting it for free to people, other than if they are very expensive Samsung tablets or Apple iPhones. So I mean, this is how companies can use their own products to market themselves. Now, a big problem is that a lot of you create content and a lot of you post it on your blog or let's say a Facebook page or a Twitter account, but it really doesn't reach out to people because you just feel that nobody is coming to me to see the content. So how do you reach out to people? So let's start posting content at places where people are bound to notice. For example, Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia, again, a crowdsourced platform. We've all been using it from our college days for working projects. But now, have you really used Wikipedia? I mean, I hope most of you know that Wikipedia is pretty much, you and I can edit it, right? But have you really tried making an article for a company? Not all companies can have an article on Wikipedia. But even if you have, let's say, close to 4 to 5 news references about you online, anywhere, online, not even in print, you can actually make a Wikipedia page for yourself. So just go to Wikipedia, go through their process. It's a simple process, not that difficult. And why not make a page for yourself? Just the way this company called Design Tech Systems has done for them. One very important platform which has come up in the last 6 to 8 months is Quora. In terms of being relevant in India, is Quora. Quora, while it was huge, I mean, supposed to be just a question and answer site originally, now it has also come out with the feature of blogs. Now, if you probably seen this story in the newspaper, it was there in the newspaper also, or hopefully you read it online. Just look at this blog, which has been liked by close to 7,000 people, or voted by 7,000 people. And it talked about a student who had hacked into the Indian education system. He had hacked into the results of ICSE and ISE and other related things. And he was just, he published his findings, and they were quite surprising findings. So then newspapers also took notice, and then they published his results. So if you have a blog and not too many people are coming to it, why not try blogging on Quora? Not that bad an option, I say. Right? Again, SlideShare. Usually people forget to use SlideShare, they don't really know what SlideShare is all about. And even if they use SlideShare, they don't know how to then probably make it reach out to more and more people. This is a simple PPT I made 2 years ago. I happened to upload it on SlideShare, shared it with my entire network, and I really mean my entire network. Eventually it got 15,000 plus views. And you can see the number of likes and tweets and shares and everything else. They also were quite high. So I couldn't have imagined this to happen on my own website or my own portal. But this happened on SlideShare. And that's how these things work out. Also, what happens because of SlideShare is, SlideShare helps you get that very important part of virality, which everybody is asking and wanting for. So for example, some of your PPTs can then end up trending on Twitter. If you can see the one on left, it says SlideShare hot on Twitter. And at the same time, what happened in my case is that one of my PPTs called Breaking Tenets About Entrepreneurship ended up trending on LinkedIn today. Now, if you've seen LinkedIn, you might have noticed that on your homepage, there are certain stories which are there every day, and which are the trending stories basically, most talked about stories on LinkedIn. So mine happened to trend in the technical section, technology section, but big feat I said. It eventually reached out to a lot of people across the globe. Community building. So a lot of people want to build communities and then sell their products and then do things that they're trying to do. Now, the only thing that is required in this case is that one, you have to have a natural or definite kind of a skill, which is different from others. Secondly, dedicated efforts. It doesn't just happen overnight, not even 5 months, 6 months. It takes years in most cases. So, last important thing is time. Let's look at two very interesting communities, which I'm sure all of us are part of. First one called Garbage Bin. Indian cartoons, I think we all have grown up with Saja Chaudhary, Tingles, or for the English audience, Archie's and Veronica and Betty and everything else. But nobody has been able to really do something about, cartoon strips in India the way Garbage Bin has done on Facebook. Simple cartoon strip, simple characters, talk about everyday happenings with kids in 80s and 90s, and just look at how big a hit it has become. Many, I don't really know the last count, but I think there are more than 2 lakh likes. Could be more. Do correct me if I'm wrong. What has Garbage Bin done now? They've come out with their merchandise. They now have a website which is set up. They are selling mugs and other things. In fact, t-shirts as well, I think. Also, they came out with their book, which was in fact published by, I'm forgetting by whom, but yeah, it was published by one of those good big authors. Publishers. My bad. And now it is available on the likes of Untitled and everywhere else for you to buy. So that's how it actually grew into becoming so big that it has reached this stage. Same goes for a community called Tweetard or the Viral Fever Tultiapa, if you've been seeing what they do. Yeah, and all this again, faking news. Okay, let's just go to faking news. Faking news, I'm sure we all like faking news. Very funny satire website based on the lines of Onion. Now, what has happened to faking news recently? If you know, faking news has actually got acquired by the network 18 group. It's now part of First Post. Now, I don't remember and I don't know a blog becoming so big that it actually got acquired by a news portal before faking news. And that's a big achievement. Come to think of it, it's a simple blog. It's based on WordPress, in fact. And this guy Rahul Roshan has been posting content there for, I don't know, 2 to 3 years now. Very active on Twitter, very active on Facebook. There is now my faking news website. But it became so big without him spending a penny that it's been now acquired by First Post. So things do happen. It's just that they take a lot of time. Now, very importantly, we need to use social media as a broadcast media channel. Social media is not just about getting more likes or getting more followers or getting more connections. But let's see how else can you use this with the connections and with the followers that you have. So there are many portals out there which I would call our mini social media platforms in themselves. For example, for startups, there is the Robinhoods. For startups, there is the Robinhoods, where a lot of startup people come and talk about different things. And similarly, there are portals for the HR community, for any other division that there is. Now, what for example I did is I uploaded a simple PPT about how to make social media work for SMEs startups on the Robinhoods. Now, I it here and not on my own blog only, because naturally this gives me more visibility and this gives me the possibility to reach out to more people. And when I did that, I got a reply from a company which actually saw my presentation of this blog post on Robinhoods and wanted to do some business with me. So I'm just saying that you don't only have to restrict yourselves to your own network and what you are doing, where you are doing it, but let's reach out to more and more places. Similarly, on LinkedIn, we all have lots of connections. But as I was mentioning earlier, most of us don't do anything about them. We at best end up reaching out to 1 or 2 people as and when required. we never really have most of us used it as a broadcast medium of sorts, or let's say when you do a mailer campaign on an email, can you do a similar campaign on LinkedIn? So I did this, I sent out a message to all my contacts, again a couple of years back, about some social media related thing that I was doing. General message, not trying to sell too many things all at the same time. What happened as a result is, I got a reply from a journalist. And she said that I work for a magazine, I work for an SME magazine right now, and would you like to contribute to it? What happened as a result of my sending out a message to my contacts on LinkedIn is this article appeared in the magazine. So what happens is that if you really use Wikipedia, if you really use LinkedIn rightly and you reach out to the right kind of people and you add different people from different networks and keep interacting with them in some way or the other by sending them a message or I don't know, commenting on stuff that they're doing, there is a greater chance for you to make that become something more in the time to come. Now what happens in offline meetups and when you go out to a conference, what do you want to essentially do? You want to meet more and more people. So you end up usually exchanging your visiting card with different people, hoping to get theirs in return, and thus you build a network. But have you really tried doing that in the online space? Have you really went out and just started adding different people from LinkedIn onto your network, or participating in different groups that are there on Facebook or Twitter for that matter? So many groups are there on Facebook which must be catering to your particular community or industry. Why not become a part of them? Why not start talking to people there? Why not start discussing things there? Similarly for Twitter, there is something called a hashtag, and if you look, there are some communities which are built across hashtags, around hashtags. So if you start participating in them, there is a good chance for you to not just connect with more like-minded people, but also connect with people who are probably in the same industry as you are, and also potential customers and clients. A very small tip, at times we are faced with the problem of not being able to add somebody on LinkedIn because we are not friends with them, or let's say we are being asked for the email IDs and stuff like that. So a small good idea, what you can do is you can just go to their profile, check out the groups that they are a part of, join the same groups, and then LinkedIn gives you an option of joining them because you're part of the same group. So by doing that, you can connect with them. And secondly, what I personally recommend is that when LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to connect with people, it has a custom message which it gives you by default. But what you can ideally do is you can actually just customize that message for yourself, for your own need, and then probably just send it out. That's a much better way to actually go about doing it, right? So I mean, with a zero budget, you may not be able to do everything that you probably want to do. But if you really use the resources effectively, you can definitely do a lot. So yeah, with that, we'll come to the end of the part where I tell you things, and now we can have it open for sessions. Questions.
Let's just take it up from Twitter first, and then we'll take it up over here.
Sure.
One of the questions that I have is, and this was, I think, asked in the similar way by a lot of people out there. When you talk about, a lot of you asked this, that one of the concern is to increase the likes on Facebook, right? And since the topic is zero budget, is it realistic to think about increasing your likes to some significant number through zero budget marketing? Have you seen that example anywhere? And there are some that I have seen, but they're the rare few. But and what are the various ways one needs to adopt to make sure that you get likes at zero cost? Without spending anything on ads.
Sure. So one is, for sure, you invite or you ask everybody whom you already know, be it through email lists or be it through personal contacts, to actually be a part of your page. It might look little cheap, if I may say it so. But I mean, that is okay to begin with. But after a point, other than the fact, if you are not too funny or too engaging, something like a faking news or a garbage win, it's not easy to reach out to way too many people with a zero budget campaign, especially the way Facebook has changed over the years. With now Facebook wanting you to shell out more and more money for practically everything, it's not really easy to reach out to too many people with a zero budget. But yes, there are campaigns where with a very limited budget or with practically zero budget, they've been able to reach out to the right kind of audience. Because at the end, it's not about getting a million people or a lakh people or whatever online or on a page. It's all about getting the right number of people. So, for example, SheepStop doesn't have too many people on their page, and that's an important way to look at. So yeah, what I was saying is SheepStop probably has just around 3,000 likes on their Facebook page, but still you see that it has been able to reach out to the right kind of people, and they have endorsers now online. Right. So Mayur, in fact, I just posted a question. Yeah.
So one thing that you're saying is that every likes is not of equal value. A like,
I think most definitely that is the case.
Then it means different. But in terms of the number, if how much, like what is the maximum that you have seen that people have achieved? I mean, I've seen businesses claiming reaching to 500,000, million, and they claim that they haven't spent even a single rupee on
it. I doubt it. I honestly doubt it either. Yeah.
So what is the maximum that you have seen?
I mean, for the maximum that I've seen would again have to be faking news and garbage. But if you talk about an India specific case, or if you look at the West, if you look at the oatmeal is as many would know, a comic that a guy, one person runs, same as garbage being run by one person. So it is possible for things to grow, but what matters is that for a business, if you're selling some serious products, I don't know how big a community can you create without spending any budgets. It's a good idea to definitely have part of your marketing budgets specified for social media, invest that money in advertising in different platforms, and then see the results. Okay.
Got it. So, you know, on the same light, since you actually talked about SheepStop example, there was a question asked by Raman. He said that, can you share something about the real business results that they were achieving in terms of numbers? Okay. Can you share something in that regard?
So I think the unfortunate problem with businesses achieving results is that they usually try to keep it all concealed and all by themselves. So it's really difficult to measure how a social media campaign has really helped the company achieve its results. So I think at best what we can judge is that if their branding and visibility and engagement is going online, it's a good idea to say that yes, the campaign is working out for them.
Okay, great. So the question screen is now available in front of me. So I'll just take up questions one by one. So there's a question asked by Gayatri, like SheepStop, how do you use the same marketing for Facebook, right?
Okay, so I think since Facebook is not that open and Facebook, so I mean since Facebook is not that open and you can't really reach out to anybody and it's not even, it doesn't even look right to reach out to anybody on Facebook, it's not the best idea to adopt the same strategy on Facebook. In fact, if you would have carefully noticed, most of the slides and most of the case studies in this presentation that you just saw didn't have any Facebook examples, because the moment you talk about Facebook, you almost necessarily have to start thinking about spending some money. Why all these other portals exist is that so that you can use zero budget campaigns and make them work for you. So yeah, and if in fact, I just probably have to point one simple thing out. What you can actually do is you can use the 24 hours loot example on Facebook, where you can actually start offering your products for free and ask every week, tell people that, like this, comment on this, share this. Again, it may sound like a cheap tactic, but it works. It works for people, it has worked for different kinds of people. So you ask people to probably and make them enter a contest and give them your own stuff through which word spreads about what you are doing. Yeah, so that can happen on Facebook and help your word spread. Yeah.
Got that. So through contest is definitely one way.
Yeah.
Okay, so another question, interesting question is asked by Pooja. She's saying that target-based reach. Suppose you want to reach out to a particular set of target audience outside your friends circle on social media. How should one approach doing that?
So I think there are, in fact, multiple ways to look at it. One is naturally Facebook advertising. If you are somebody who has tried out Facebook advertising even once, you will know that there are n number of ways in which you can target different people across geographies, age group, and even the kind of smartphone they use or other related things. But that again involves a bit of budget. So while you can do that, if you are a B2C company, you necessarily need to do some bit of Facebook and spend some money there. But let's look at what else you can do. Let's say you are somebody who's selling Apple accessories. Let's say somebody who's selling Apple covers, fancy, something fancy to do with gadgets. So if you just go to Twitter, if you just search for people who are tweeting about Samsung or who are tweeting about iOS or tweeting about iPhone, just reply to them just the way SheepStop did in the case of Threadless. So while that is not targeted approach in the way you would want to reach out to more and more people, but that is the kind of approach which helps you reach out to the right kind of audience at that moment. So for that, it needs to be an ongoing campaign where you probably keep a look on the search results every day, and then you connect with these people on a regular basis. Yeah.
Got it. Great. Okay, so another question is asked by Narayanan. He's saying that we are into HR consulting, specifically the recruitment part. That's what they do, and it's a B2B. So how can we target our prospective clients? I think there are a lot of people who have asked about social media in the B2B space. So yeah, if you could just share more lights on how B2B businesses can leverage social media, it would be good.
Sure. So once again, LinkedIn. Let's go back to LinkedIn and look at the concept of adding people from different different industries, different geographies, and different functions, and then reaching out to the relevant people. So, for example, if you're a B2B company wanting to increase your business or wanting to reach out to the right kind of people, or an HR consultancy wanting to get yourself empaneled with more companies, you simply need to look for, let's say, the HR heads of different companies on LinkedIn, send out a request to all of them, most of them, any of them, and see how they respond. And in your message, you need to probably clearly even state that we are a consultancy firm who wants to get attached with you or wants to just come over for a casual meeting or something like that. And let's just see how they respond. I'll tell you how and why LinkedIn works, and at times email doesn't, or at times cold calling doesn't. When you send somebody a message on LinkedIn, it doesn't happen every day that you get a message on LinkedIn, right? You probably get a message on LinkedIn once in 7 days. Or if you compare it with your emails that you get, for every 20 emails that you get every day, you probably get one message on LinkedIn, if you are that social a person. Now, if you reach out to somebody on LinkedIn like that, it really makes them feel important, and it really makes them feel that you've taken all the effort to find them on LinkedIn and reach out to them. In fact, I should have probably taken up one of those examples also, but just the way I showed you in terms of how LinkedIn helped me get an article in a magazine. Similarly, if you reach out to the relevant people in your industry on LinkedIn, it will result in something great. And the problem that we always make in social media or in business is that we want result instantaneously. If we add people today, if we send them a message today, results have to happen today. They usually take anywhere between a day to probably 2 years for things to happen as a result of what you're doing. The great part is that once you added people on LinkedIn, they are there in your network. As a function of what you do, you can actually send out messages every 3 to 4 months just talking about what new things have been happening at your company. If you've written great blog posts, why don't you share it with your network? Just tell them that interesting piece of information we thought of sharing with you. Why don't you check it out? And that's how credibility grows in the industry, and that's how you eventually will definitely end up getting new clients. Yeah.
Got that. Great. So some useful tips for B2B businesses, and just wanted to let you know that as Digital Vidya, I mean, we have a B2C side wherein we do learning workshops, and we also have a B2B side wherein we target our corporate clients, and our largest client so far actually came through LinkedIn. So, I mean, we really know the kind of value that we have got out of it. And I think, as Prateek also pointed out, one of the tips that I want to reinforce is like LinkedIn is not really a network; it's a slow network compared to Facebook, since the number of people logging in probably every month is 50%, which is like number of people logging in every day on Facebook. But the quality and the kind of response that you get if you have the patience is phenomenally good. So, and if you keep sharing your accomplishment, keep engaging with audience over there, over a period of time, you see that however you want to position your business or yourself, just keep getting reinforced, and sometime that you see that value coming down to your side. Okay, so just to take up other question in the similar lights, Kiran, she has asked the question, I do not have any product which can be discounted or not available for free. So this is, I think, in response to what you were talking about earlier.
Right.
Any idea how best can I promote myself? And she's from IT, IT company, actually.
Right. So I think in a case where you can't really discount your products or offer them for free, and since you come from an IT company, I'm assuming it's a B2B tech product, some kind of an online, some tech management or a product, IT product that you're offering. So now see what happens in this case is that you can't really expect to sell uh, to a B2C audience, like through Facebook directly without spending any budgets. So what you ideally need to do in this case is create some very strong content at the backup, which could be in the form of a blog, which could be in the form of a site share PPT. And once you have that backup created with you, or once you have that strong backend, you then upload it on your company blog, which should ideally be on your company website. Secondly, you post it on your LinkedIn profile, the company profile, and you send it. If there are salespeople who are part of the LinkedIn network, you ask them to build a network of potential customers, and you ask them to send out this blog along with a note about how and where they can buy this product online, or if they can go for a meeting. So I think in your case, what can ideally happen is not that you offer it for at a discount or for free, but you reach out to people through LinkedIn messages, and you reach out to people by creating a strong backend in terms of a slideshare PPT or in terms of a blog, which people can come and refer to when they want to know more about the product or get impressed and buy it themselves instead of you selling it to them. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, guys, there are actually more than 150 questions in front of me. So please don't mind if I'm not able to take your question in another 10 minutes. What I'll do is I'll definitely try to pass on all these questions to Prateek. And I'll also try to answer some of these questions myself. And the questions are still pouring in. So I'm actually trying to see if I can group questions together and answer it in 10 minutes. Okay, so I think another question, this question asked by Sonia, she's saying, what according to you is more important, CTR or lead generated from a campaign? I'm sure she's asking in the context of social media. So
Right.
by the time you are out, yeah. So if I just.
So I think naturally, eventually, it's lead generation which is more important. I would personally feel that it is lead generation which is more important uh, for any campaign for that matter. Eventually, that's the end result one is looking for. Yeah.
Got that. And just to add to that, I mean, if you're choosing an ad model which is CPC, uh, purely from the media spend point of view, or the CPC cost that you will eventually end up paying, CTR is a parameter which is more important, but this purely depend on the value, the amount that you would be spending to generate a given set of clicks, right? So more the CTR you will end up paying, lesser as a CPC cost, but that does not mean more ROI. To get a more ROI, the leads that you generate out of it is much more important. So what that means is all the campaign that you're running on social media needs to be integrated to your CRM, and in fact you need to track the quality of that leads as a sales team as well, and eventually track what is the revenue that you're generating out of a given set of investment that you're making on social media. Okay, so another question is asked by Shatru. He's saying that which social media is more preferred to reach parents who have kids?
Okay. Depends on what age group the kids fall into. I'd like to quickly show you something that somebody had to make because it was not easy to reach out to kids in the school age group. So what a company ended up doing is they ended up creating their own school students network. This is in India, AssetAmbassador.com, and it has somewhere close to 7,000 members now. So since you do not allow children below 13 years of age to be on Facebook, how do you reach out to them? So you build another network. And but this is being done by a company which reaches out to schools on a very regular basis, so it's easy for them. Otherwise, I think you just have to go with the audiences above 13, and then you have to go for Facebook. I think that is the network they are on if we look at all these networks in India. And if you are looking to reach out to the parents of these kids, I would again have to say Facebook because it's easy to target your audience in terms of those who are parents and have a kid in the certain age group.
Okay, so there's a question asked, interesting question by Mr. KV RK Chaudhary. He's saying, how can we import contacts from Facebook if you have a Gmail account and vis-a-vis? I mean, I would like to answer this question in a bigger context. Suppose, I mean, you mentioned that a lot of people promoted their social media presence over the email list that they have built over a period of time. Is there a reverse way to do it? Like suppose if I have 50,000 fans on Facebook, do you recommend any way in which I can actually somehow try to make those 50,000 people as my opt-in email database? What are the steps that can be taken in that regard?
So I think while there is no direct way to download that database from Facebook, I mean otherwise we would all have been having a very good time by just downloading our page contacts. But what can ideally be done is you want them to opt in for a certain let's say email list, or if you want them to buy your products, then Facebook does allow a simple option which allows you to advertise by targeting people who are already fans of your page. So let's say if you have started offering a new product, or if you want even for them to just become part of your email mailing list, you start an ad campaign asking these people who are fans on your Facebook page to come check out your website and register there. So that's the only way I can think of as of now. And I don't think Facebook will ever be interested in allowing you to ideally download contacts. Yes, and the other way, of course, is that you start some applications, and when you have applications, you get people to enter all their details, and then therefore you get part of all that data. But in my very personal opinion, I think even applications, since not everybody will end up using an application, so it will not be completely effective. So yeah, I mean that's how it is in fact.
Just to add on my views on this, fundamentally Facebook is primarily a tool to reach out, right? If you have X number of fans, you can either reach out to them directly if the community is engaging, or you can do a sponsored post and possibly reach out to every one of them and each one of their friends also, or most of the people who interact, friends of all those people. Now the point is the message that you communicate will decide what will be the effectiveness of the reach. So if you could create a strong enough engagement or a pull factor for people to click on it, come to your website, fill in a form so that they can become an engagement, they can become your opt-in customers or opt-in user base, then your job is done. So here the key thing is to create that strong enough pull factor or the strong enough engagement. Like internally at Digital Vidya, we are trying out these webinars as one of the way where we can pull people out of Facebook to our opt-in database. I mean, if you have some suggestion, tips, tricks, you can use that. If you have some discount coupons, you can use it. So, I mean, worldwide, there possibly are hundreds of different magnets that companies have tried out, from games to sweepstakes to tips and tricks. So, you need to figure out and see what will work for your target audience so that you can use them. So great. Another interesting question in the similar light is asked by Adit Kohli. He's saying that how can they increase traffic on their website? I mean, a lot of people actually ask me also, can social media be effectively used to generate traffic? So what's your take on that, Prateek?
Yeah, I think naturally, what of course, see the entire online marketing campaign beginning from your website to SEO to SMO to every other thing that you're doing, uh, including PPC ads and everything else, is to increase traffic to your website. You know, on social media, in fact, if you really come to understand, social media is a marketing platform. It's a marketing medium. It's not your it's not an entire campaign. Eventually, the idea of this campaign is to make more traffic go to your website and check what you're doing and buy things from you and take your services. So I think what needs to be done is that you just need to be there everywhere, as probably you noticed in the case of Just for Hearts in the very beginning. That by being available at all places, it naturally increases your chance to reach out to more people. B, by sharing interesting content that people would like to see and like to share, it happens, I mean, that probability increases. And then thirdly, by using the same keywords and key phrases across your campaign everywhere, there is an increased chance of people correlating what you're doing on different platforms with what you're doing as a company function in general. So all these things come together to eventually increase traffic on your website. And depending on what kind of website you have and what kind of work you're doing, there may be different strategies that can be adopted for the same. But that's essentially how you go about doing it.
Got it. Great. So I'm not so sure what is the reason, but actually a lot of people have the question around Facebook likes, and looks like that's the interest of people. Vinita Mittal, she's asking a question that their likes are not increasing by not spending, and
Right.
she has she wants some tips how to increase genuine likes. Now
Genuine
I don't know
likes.
how she's
Right.
how she categorized as a genuine likes, but I think if you can throw some more tips on, or like probably try to rephrase
Absolutely,
what you've
absolutely.
said in that light, will be good for all of us.
Sure. So you know the most important thing to just learn and understand on social media is that likes are like a paradox. The number of likes matter, yet they don't really matter, right? So let's say, for instance, if you are trying to impress somebody with what kind of a company you build and what kind of people know you, it's a good idea to have some likes, anywhere ranging from 1,000 to 10,000 to 50,000. It's a good idea to have that, and you can do that by either forcing everybody and making them like your page, or just doing some bit of advertising and making people like your page. But at the same time, let's say you have a lakh people on your page. Okay. Now let's say none of these people are relevant to what you're doing. Now how do these likes matter? They're actually as good as nothing. It all comes down to naught. It's zilch activity and promotion that you've done all along, irrespective of how you achieve those likes. If these are uh, I mean irrelevant likes. Now, as you rightly asked, is that how to get the right kind of likes, or how to kind of ensure that the right kind of people can like you. Now, first of all, I think our interest should be more in the right kind of people coming to our website and the right kind of people getting to know about us than the right kind of people just coming to like our page, which is in any case a good thing to do, but our end objective should be that. Now on Facebook, one is that you can just sit and hope that one day the right kind of people will find you because of the right content that you're posting, and they'll search and they'll find you. Or the intelligent thing that you can do is, if you are an organization which is serious about doing business, and if you are shelling out X amount of salary to different people and incurring Y amount of expenses on electricity and different things, please have a Z budget for online marketing. And that Z budget could be very small to begin with, could be great, could be whatever you want it to be, but you need to invest at least some money in advertising. I mean, actually, I think the big problem which people have is, or the big fear people have is that Facebook will probably cost them a bombshell to advertise on. Probably people get scared by the CPC bids that Facebook is showing them, which tells them that it will cost you somewhere around 50 rupees, 100 rupees to get a like or to get somebody to click on your page or whatever. A, it is not so the case. You can easily get somebody to click on your ad for anywhere as low as 2 to 3 rupees to anywhere as high as probably, I don't know, 100 to 100 bucks depending on what kind of campaign you're running. But even if you have to spend 50 rupees on getting a relevant like for your page, and if you end up getting 100 relevant likes by the end of a year, of which even 5 people get converted as customers, I think it's just very important that you advertise. And in fact, it's a zero budget campaign that we're talking about here, but in fine print, it also mentioned that zero or low budget. So I mean, let's spend something. If you're spending a lot of time, effort, creativity, content, people, other resources, and not spending any money, then your campaign is also going to become like this eventually. And it's not going to bear any fruit. Yeah. So that's the take on increasing likes. Yeah.
Genuine likes.
Genuine likes. Okay. Which is fair.
Guys, yeah. Okay. So it's actually already 4:04. And there are already, I think, there are a lot of questions that are still unanswered. So what I'll try to do is I will try to compile answers of all the questions that you put up and write down a blog post, and then you can go ahead and read it. In case you have any further question after that, you can mention it as a comment in that blog post, and both me and Prateek would be active there participating. So you would receive a mail in a couple of days with the recording as well as the presentation as well as the blog post as a link in that, right? So at this point, really want to thank you, and I also want to add on to one thing, since the topic of like we have discussed a lot, and especially the genuine like things. You know, we in our office we generate leads through ads, right? And so people come to a landing page, fill up the form, and then they leave. And if our sales team is not calling them in 2 days, on the third day, we have to really remind all those leads that you've actually filled up a form. Now here the person has made a significant amount of investment in coming to a landing page, reading the stuff, filling out the form, and still within the 2 days, the relationship is gone, right? You know, very few percentage of them really remember. And we are talking about generating likes from ad, which is just a click, wherein we don't know whether the person has clicked because of he likes a photo, the text, or really the page. Now you should keep them engaged to convert, to nurture that relationship and make it genuine, rather than try to look for genuine likes. So as Prateek also said, stop waiting for genuine likes, but let's really make the genuine people who have liked your page as the genuine relationship. So that's something that, on that note, by the way, if you want to learn more about the whole social media stuff, in any case, we have our programs, so you can join any one of them, and we'll continue to keep doing such webinars in which we'll try to pass on whatever learning that we have in this space. Definitely an endless space to learn. So thank you everyone for your participation. Thanks Prateek for your time.
Thanks a lot everybody for taking out time and attending this webinar. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
The session is closed. Thanks a lot.